Hello friends, welcome to learning program. In today's lecture, we will discuss about the results based on subgroups which play a very vital role in group theory. To watch this full detail, let us move on board.
Yes, sir.
So, the theorem, let G be a group and H is subset of G, then H is subgroup of G if and only if AB belongs to H, then A inverse B belongs to H. That means to prove H is a subgroup of G, we need only one property. That's the two elements of H, AB belongs to H, then A into B inverse belongs to H, then H becomes a subgroup. So we no need to prove all the four properties, we need to prove only one thing. A into B inverse belongs to H, then H becomes a subgroup. So we have to prove. First, we assume that H is a subgroup and the condition is satisfied. Let H is a subgroup of G. Suppose AB belongs to H, then by the definition of subgroup, H itself a group and H satisfying the whole properties of the group, therefore A inverse, B inverse are also belongs to H by using the inverse property. Now A belongs to H, B inverse belongs to H. So by closure property, their product A into B inverse is also belongs to H. So if we have H is a subgroup of G, then A into B inverse is also belongs to H. Conversely, we assume the condition is holds, we have to prove that H satisfying the properties of a group. So conversely, let A belongs to H. We can write A belongs to H. So by given condition, A into A inverse is also belongs to H, because in condition it is given that if AB belongs to H, then A into B inverse is also belongs to H. So here AA, we replace B by A. So by using this property, A into A inverse is also belongs to H, but we know A into A is identity, so E is belongs to H. So existence of identity property is satisfied. So existence of identity property is satisfied. So next, let A belongs to H, and by the previous one E is belongs to H. So by given condition, E into A inverse is also belongs to H, but E is the identity. This implies A inverse belongs to H, because E into A inverse is equal to A inverse. So existence of inverse property is satisfied. The next one, associative property. Let A, B, C belongs to H, then A, B, C belongs to G. Why? Because H is a subset of G. It's given in our question that H is a subset of G. That means every element of H is the element of G. Therefore, ABC belongs to H, then ABC belongs to G. But G is a group, therefore A into BC is always equal to AB into C. Therefore, associative property is satisfied. Now the last one, the remaining one, the closure property. For closure property, let AB belongs to H. AB belongs to H. So by using inverse property, A inverse, B inverse is also belongs to H. This implies A, B inverse is belongs to H. Now by using the given condition, first as it is and the inverse of the second, and their product is also belongs to H, this implies A into B inverse, its inverse is also belongs to H. This implies A, B inverse into inverse is B is belongs to H. So let AB belongs to H, then A into B is also belongs to H. So existence, so closure property is also satisfied. So H satisfies all the four properties: closure properties, associative property, existence of identity, and existence of inverse. Therefore H itself a group and it is a subset of G. Therefore H becomes a subgroup of G. So this result shows that if G is a group, H is a subset of G, then if we have to take any two element of H, first as it is and the inverse of the second element is also belongs to H, then H becomes a subgroup. So to prove the subgroup, we need only one thing. We take two elements of the subset. If we prove that A into B inverse is belongs to H, then H becomes the subgroup. In case of addition, this is the binary operation is multiplication. But in case of addition, our binary operation becomes addition. So in this case, the same result is converted as AB belongs to H, then A minus B is also belongs to H. So because in addition, the inverse of B is minus B, and in multiplication, inverse of B is B inverse. So both results are same. In multiplication, inverse is B inverse, but in case of addition, inverse of B is minus B. So if AB belongs to H, then A minus B belongs to H, then H becomes a subgroup with respect to binary operation addition. So the next result, union of two subgroups need not be a subgroup, but intersection of two subgroup is again a subgroup. First we will prove that the intersection of two subgroup is again a subgroup. Let G is a group and H, K are subgroups of G. Then H intersection K is also a subgroup. it is given that H and K are the subgroups of G. Our target to prove their intersection, that means H intersection K is also a subgroup. Suppose AB belongs to H intersection K. Before taking these two elements, first we prove that H intersection K is non-empty. H, E belongs to H, E belongs to K, where E is the identity element of the group G, and the identity element of the group G is the identity element of the subgroups H and K. Therefore, E is belongs to H intersection K. This implies H intersection K does not equal to phi. That means the intersection of two subgroup is non-empty. After this, we take two elements. A, B belongs to H intersection K. If AB belongs to H intersection K, this implies AB belongs to H and AB belongs to K. AB belongs to H intersection K, that means AB belongs to H and AB belongs to K. But H and K are the subgroups. H and K are subgroups. This implies AB inverse is belongs to H and AB inverse belongs to K. Because in last theorem we proved that if AB belongs to H, then A into B inverse is also belongs to H due to the subgroup definition. So AB inverse belongs to H, AB inverse belongs to K. This implies AB inverse belongs to H intersection K. So we have to prove that if we take any two elements, AB belongs to H intersection K, then A into B inverse is also belongs to H intersection K. Therefore, H intersection K is subgroup of G. We can generalize this result. The intersection of two subgroup is a subgroup of G. Intersection of three subgroup is again a subgroup of G. So generalize, we can say that the intersection of subgroups, arbitrary intersection of subgroups is again a subgroup of G. In the next result, we have to prove that the union of two subgroup need not be a subgroup. Now we can take an example of two subgroups and their union is not a subgroup. So let we discuss the example. Let Z is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and so on, is a group of integers with binary operation addition. Suppose H is equal to 3 into M, M is belongs to Z, and K is equal to 2 into N, where N is belongs to Z. Then H is a subgroup of Z, K is also a subgroup of Z. We prove that H union K is not a subgroup of Z. For this, let 3 is belongs to H, because H is equal to 3 into M. If we have to take M is equal to 1, so 3 into 1 is an element of H. And if we take N is equal to 1, then 2 into 1 is 2 is belongs to K. This implies 2 and 3 both are belongs to H union K. Union means either belongs to H or belongs to K. That means 3 is belongs to H and 2 is belongs to K. Therefore 2 and 3 both are belongs to H union K. But 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, which is not belongs to H union K. H union K, that means the collection of all integers of multiple of 3 and multiples of 2. 5 is not a multiple of 3 and not a multiple of 2. That means 5 does not belongs to H union K. So closure property is not satisfied. We have to take two elements of H union K. Then their sum 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. It does not belongs to H union K. So H union K is not a subgroup of Z. That means the union of two subgroups need not be a subgroup, but intersection of two subgroup must be a subgroup. In the next result, we proved that the union of two subgroup is again a subgroup, but having the sum properties. If it's satisfying some properties, then it may be a subgroup. So now we discuss the union of two subgroup is a subgroup, but with some conditions. Union of two subgroups is again a subgroup if and only if either one of them is contained in other. That means union of two subgroup is again a subgroup if either one of them is contained in other. Let G is a group. H and K are any two subgroups of G. Let's we assume that the given condition holds, that is either H is contained in K or K is contained in H. We have to prove that H union K is a subgroup. If H is contained in K, then equal to K, because K is a superset of H. Therefore, their union H intersection H union K is equal to K, but K is a group. K is a subgroup of G. This implies H union K is also a subgroup of G. Similarly, if K is contained in H, then K union H is equal to H, and H is a subgroup of G. Therefore, K union H is also a subgroup of G. So, the union of two subgroup is again a subgroup of G if either one of them is contained in the other. Conversely, we have to prove that if H union K is a subgroup, then either H is contained in K or K is contained in H. Let H union K is subgroup of G. We have to prove that either H is contained in K or K is contained in H. We prove this result by using contradiction. Suppose neither H is contained in K nor K is contained in H. So there exists small h belongs to capital H such that small h does not belongs to K. H does not contain in K, that means there exists an element belongs to H which is not belongs in K, and there exists small k belongs to capital K such that small k does not belongs to H. As H belongs to capital H, K belongs to capital K, this implies HK belongs to H union K. But H union K is a subgroup according to given condition. We assume that H union K is a subgroup of G. So by the definition, by the given condition of the subgroup, H into K is also belongs to H union K by closure property. If two elements of H union K, then their product is also belongs to H union K. This implies either H into K belongs to H or H into K belongs to capital K. H into K belongs to H union K, that means H into K either belongs to H or belongs to K. Suppose H into K belongs to H and small h is belongs to capital H. This implies H inverse is also belongs to capital H because H is a subgroup. So by the given condition of inverse property, if H belongs, small h is belongs to capital H, then their inverse is also belongs to capital H. Now H into K is one element of H, H inverse is another element of H. So by closure property, H inverse H into K is also belongs to H. H into H inverse is identity, E into small k is belongs to capital H. This implies small k is belongs to capital H, a contradiction, because in our supposition we see K does not belongs to H. So a contradiction, this contradiction shows that our supposition is wrong. That means H into K does not belongs to capital H. So let us, we assume that H into K is belongs to capital K. So next, let small h into K is belongs to capital K and small k is also belongs to capital K. This implies small k inverse is belongs to capital K because capital K is a subgroup of G and inverse property is satisfied. If K, small k belongs to capital K, then small k inverse is also belongs to capital K. This implies H into K inverse is also belongs to capital K by closure property. The product of the two elements of K is again in K. That means the product of H into K and H K inverse is also belongs to capital K. This implies H K into K inverse is identity, is belongs to capital K. This implies H is belongs to K. Again a contradiction. Again a contradiction. This contradiction shows that our supposition is wrong. That means neither H is contained in K nor K is contained in H. So this contradiction shows that our result is true. If union of two subgroup is again a subgroup, then either one of them is contained in the other. That means to prove the union of two subgroup is again a subgroup, it is compulsory that either one of them is contained in the other. So dear students, these are the results which are based on subgroups. We will discuss the more and more results in the next classes. So hope your e-learning program to enhance your knowledge. Keep it up and have a nice day. Good luck. Thank you.